We did absolute value graphs. Today we're going to do parabolas, okay? All right, so we talked about what an absolute value graph looks like. Basically, you have a vertex and it forms a V at the vertex, right? Today we're going to talk about quadratic functions, and their parent function is f of x equals x squared, right? So this is basically like the default function. And then everything else is like this one, but with some changes to it. Okay, so we're going to start graphing. Again, we're going to pick points, x and y. To start this, we do, again, we're going to pick some negatives and some positives and zeros. So -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So, the function is x squared now, so y equals x squared. Okay, so when x is -2, I put it in here, -2 squared, and I get 4. -1 squared, and I get 1. 0 squared will give me a 0. 1 squared, I get a 1. 2 squared, I get a 4. Okay? So let's graph this. Now this is going to be a parabola. This is not going to be a V like before, right? So at -2, I have 4. -1, I have 1. 0, 1, and 4. Okay? Again, this is where you need to know. I'm graphing a quadratic equation. So even though, you can connect these and make a V, this is not an absolute value graph. It's going to look like a parabola. So here, I actually do the little curve first, and then I extend up. Okay? Okay. So, next one. Yeah. Okay, so the next one, same transformations as before. This is why I wanted you guys to do the homework before. Same transformations. What does the -2 do to the graph? Down. Because it's outside, it moves it down. So here, the vertex was 0, 0 for this one. Now, the vertex is going to move down 2 spaces. So what's going to be the coordinates of the new vertex? -2, 0, -2. Okay, 0, -2. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to plug points again. The vertex is at x equals 0. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to pick a point, or I'm sorry, I want you to pick 2 points, either to the right or to the left. So if this is 0, I'm going to pick 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And I'm going to plug them into this. So y equals x squared minus 2. So this is going to be 1 squared minus 2, -1. Here. Plug 2 in. It's going to be 2 squared minus 2, 2. Okay? Questions?
So then when we're graphing it,
so then, yeah, so at 1, it's -1. At 2, we're up at 2. But that's only half the parabola. The other half is symmetric. So I just mirror this point here, and I mirror that point there, and I make it look like a parabola. Okay? Okay, next one. Where is the +3 going to move the up 3? So the new vertex is going to be up 3 at 0, 3. Now, x and y. I'm going to pick 2 points to the right. So here it's x equals 1, x equals 2. And I'm going to plug them in here. 1 squared plus 3, 4. 2 squared plus 3, 7. Okay? So at 1, y is 4. At 2, y is 7. I mirror. Now I'm going to mirror this way and this way. Okay, so do you see that? I take advantage of the symmetry of this parabola. Okay, so now it'll look like this. Okay, questions? Okay, now here, what does the -4 do to the graph? Where does it go? Not down. This time it's inside to the side. So if it's -4, it moves opposite if it's horizontally, right? So 4, 0, right there. So the new vertex is 4, 0.
Wait, why does it go down?
Because like what we learned yesterday, when it's inside the parenthesis or the absolute value, it goes the opposite.
If the -4 was out of it, it goes out.
Then it would go down. If it was out of it, it would go down. So now x and y. What points am I going to pick for x? Do you see where my x is here? I'm not going to pick 1 and 2. That's all the way here. I'm going to pick them right next to here. So either 5 and 6 or, 3 and 4. Okay? Or 2 and 3. So why don't we do 5 and 6? We're going to plug them in here. X minus 4 squared. So 5 minus 4 squared. Okay?
It's not always x squared.
Correct. It's just whatever the equation is. So 5 minus 4, I do that first. I get a 1 squared 1. Do you see why I was teaching you guys this stuff in chapter 1? Do you see now why we were doing that? Okay. So even if, right? Okay, so next. 6 minus 4 is 2 squared 4. 5 is 1. 6 is 4. Okay, mirror, mirror. So you're going to need, how many points total are on my graph? 5 with this vertex. So you're going to need 5 points on your graphs. All right? Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to show you a different way. Okay, so if I ask you to do it with the table, this is what you're going to do. If I ask you to graph it on your calculator, that's what I'm going to teach you right now. Listen, you have to know how to do it both ways. Okay? Okay, so go ahead and take out your calculators, please. Get your graph up. So here we're going to be graphing D, right? So in here, in parentheses, we're going to put, I forgot my parentheses. So x plus 6, close the parentheses, and the square button is to the left of the 4. And, oops. To the left of the 4, and press enter. That's what you should get. Does it make sense for the parabola to be over here? 6 units to the left? It does make sense. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is the following. This equation is blocking, everybody's in the same place? Okay, it's blocking half my graph. So here's what I want you to do. With the trackpad, I want you to scroll up and hover with your cursor on top of the equation. So hover on top of the equation, and you see a little grabby hand? Now what I want you to do is I want you to press and hold the center button for more than a second. Just press and hold for more than a second. I know this is more time than some of you are willing to invest, but just go with it. Press and hold, and then you see the little grabby hand close, yes? Let go once it closes, and then you can drag it and move it to wherever you want on the screen. So just move it out of the way. Is everybody able to do that? Okay. Now, here's what we want to do. We know that the vertex is at -6, right? That's where the vertex is. So now I want another point. I want, let's say, the y value for -5. Here's what I want you to do. Menu. Okay, you can either scroll down or you can press the numbers. I always like to press the numbers. Number 5 is trace. So press 5. Then press 1 and don't do anything. Okay, so you see how you get this. In this mode, without pressing anything else, I wanted the value for x equals -5, right? Let's just type in -5, enter. -5, enter. Look at what it does here. It gives you the y value for -5. So at -5, it's 1. Now don't press anything else. In here, let's see what -4 is. Without pressing anything else, type in -4, enter. Now it gives you that value. How cool is this? Okay, I'll be there in a sec. And now what you can do is you can still mirror those 2 points to the other side and graph a cute little parabola. Okay, so the vertex is -6, 0, and like I said, we're going to mirror these points and we're going to get a cute little parabola. Okay? Lastly, well, I went 1 over and put the point at -5 and then 2 over and put the point at -4 and 4. You want to do like 2 points. Okay, next is 2x squared. Again, you can either plug in the function, you can either do the table or we're going to do it with the calculator. So go ahead and grab your calculators again. I'll come over in a sec. Okay, let's learn. Okay, do tab. You see how you're at F2? How do you go to the first one? Up. How do you delete? Control delete, enter. Okay. Let's graph this next one. It's going to be tab. So 2, -6, 0. 2x squared. Here we go. Okay, so vertex is at 0, 0. Okay. All right. So vertex is at 0, 0. Now, how did we find the points? Menu, then what? 5, then what? 1. And then what am I going to type in? What number do you guys want to type in? 1. Enter. So it's 1, 2. What else should we type in? 2. 2, enter. I get 8. So now we're going to mirror them. This one here is 1 away from the x-axis, so I bring it 1 over here. 2 away, so I bring it 2 away. Okay? And then I want to graph my parabola. Okay, make sure you put the points always. Okay.
Can I sharpen my pencil?
Sure. Okay, here's another one. Go ahead and graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this one. Tab, up, delete, control delete. Okay, tab. Okay, go ahead. We have to think about how to do this one. The 1 over 4, you have to put it in parentheses.
Why?
Because if you don't, it'll think it's like this, which it's not, okay? You can either do that or you can put 0.25 x squared, but let's put it in parentheses. 1 over 4 x squared. Okay, now we're going to get a wider one.
I didn't put it in parentheses and I got this.
It may be like with the model of the calculator. Whenever you graph, it's good practice to always check that this print looks like the equation that you're graphing. Okay, so here we're going to do 0, 0. Bless you. Okay. When x equals 1, what do we get here? Menu 5, 1. Okay, so when x equals 1, 0.25. Okay, what about when x equals 2? When x equals 2, I get a 1. That's actually a better number to graph, so let me graph that one. Okay, when x equals 4, what do I get? Olivia says to do 4. Let's do 4. 4, 4. That's up, right? You don't have to stick to the, to the specific numbers. You could really do whatever you want. Just mirror them properly.
But that one's 2 away.
Yeah. Good. See? Then you won't get a cute parabola.
Cute.
They are cute. And look, the bottom, I always do this first, and then I extend. Okay, let's go over to this one. You have a negative in front. What type of transformation is that?
Down.
It flips down, right? So what do we call that? It's a reflection around the x-axis. Okay. So what's the vertex for this one? What do you think? Has it moved left, right, up, down?
0.
No, so it's 0, 0. So go ahead and graph. Ooh. Okay, so we graphed, look at this. Because our windows were all off, I can't see anything. Okay, but there is a solution. Go back to menu. Which one of these do you think would fix our windows?
View.
Not view, window zoom, number 4. In number 4, look, you've got all these options, okay? Look at this one, number 5. That's the standard zoom. If you press 5, it takes you back to like this cute little zoom. Okay? All right, I know you guys can transfer that to your graph on your own. Let's go to the next one for a minute. What does this plus 5 do to the graph? Where does it move it? Up 5. What does the negative do to the graph?
To the right.
The negative, it's the same as that negative over there. It's a reflection. Okay, so let's go up. Let's go over and graph this one.
Which one?
The last one. So let's delete this. Oops, tab. Up. Delete. Okay. Oh, come on. All right, so this is negative a half x squared plus 5, right? Okay. So where is the vertex for this?
Oh, what?
X is 0, y is what?
Wait, why did mine?
5. So it's negative half x squared plus 5. Okay. So we do 0 and 5. We do menu 6, not 6, 5, 1. So let's put in 1. 1 and 4.5, right?
2.
2, does 2 give you, ooh, 2 gives you a fabulous number. Okay. What about 4? Negative 3. Okay. All right, and we're gonna graph this way. Fantastic. Okay. All right, questions? Yes, no? Okay.